Hey, what's up, guys? It's Spencer with the Fantasy Fanatics. I'm here with Nathan. You want to say hello?
Hello.
I was expecting a let's ride there.
Let's ride.
There it is. There it is. Yesterday, we did 6 running backs that we love at their current ADP. Today, we are doing running backs that we do not love at their current ADP. We got some good ones here. I like the ones yesterday. I really like the ones today. We got some spicy ones. And a running back being drafted inside the top 5, I have around 40. So that's that's about all I could say. Follow our Twitter at the FF Fanatics 3. Follow our check out our website at the fffanatics.com where we post weekly rankings. I'm not messing up. I
No,
know
you
I
got
know
it. You
you're
got it. You
I
got
know
it.
you're praying for me to mess up.
No. You got it. I believe in you.
Weekly rankings. We do some hot takes with Mr. Hot Takes himself. I think he will be returning for the 2022 season. I'm starting to mess up, so let's just get to it.
Oh, wait. Where's the ticker? We need the ticker at the bottom. There we go.
There we go. All right. We'll start off with, or I'll start off with the do not drafts. Or not do not drafts. Running backs that we don't like. I'll just shut up and get into it. Elijah Mitchell, I have him at RB29. He's going around RB23. The reason I do not like him is because I think that Kyle Shanahan rides the hot hand. That's what he's done in the past years. Last year, I don't think he had the running backs to do it until Deebo Samuel showed up. And Deebo Samuel was kind of the running back there. Elijah Mitchell still got his, but Elijah Mitchell's not finishing as the RB23 this year. Little plug to Gatorade there.
No free sponsors. No free sponsors.
If Gatorade wants to sponsor us, we're here. But with a coach who likes to ride the hot hand, you just can't trust that as your RB2. If you're drafting them in the 50s, I guess you're drafting RB2 flex. If you're drafting wide receivers or tight ends early, I am personally not a fan. What about you?
I mean, I think it's going to be weird because it all depends on how they play Deebo. Because I think out of the sole running backs, Elijah Mitchell is unquestionably the best one. But it does just take a cold spell for them to be like, nope, let's give Trey Sermon a run. And if Trey Sermon's that guy, then he's that guy. They always carry like 4 or 5 running backs. So it's hard to tell. I agree with you. I'm not going to be reaching for him. I think he's a little bit overvalued.
All right, who you got?
My first one is Antonio Gibson for a lot of reasons. My first reason is because he has personally stabbed me in the back the past 2 years I've drafted him. I spent a first last year. I spent a third the year before. It was I believed in him. No longer.
Well, me and you both do not like J.D. McKissick for different reasons. You hated seeing that 41 jog on the field. It seemed like 50% of the snaps at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like him because he came to Buffalo and said, nah, I'm going to go back to Washington.
I mean, he's a former Seahawk. I mean, he was trash in Seattle. I don't know why they use him so much. Antonio Gibson's like 3 times a player.
That is some J.D. McKissick hate.
He's very average. And they have Jared Patterson. They just drafted Brian Robinson. So they've got 4 running backs on the roster. You don't draft Brian Robinson if you're going to be riding Antonio Gibson. And Jared Patterson looked good last year. So
a former Buffalonian, Jared Patterson, I don't think he'll make the roster. I don't see him carrying 4 running backs.
You don't think so? As injury prone as Gibson is?
I think maybe practice squad. I don't think anybody will pick him up. I think he could be a practice squad player.
Okay. I mean, I disagree.
We're not here to talk about Jared Patterson.
Yeah, Gibson's going at RB19. I think that's a little rich. I mean, I get it if you want to take a stab at him because he's definitely talented, but I don't think they use him properly. He played receiver in high school. They barely throw passes to him. Doesn't make sense to me. So that's my reasoning. What you got?
All right. So 2 years ago in one of my leagues, it was my first year in this league, and they invited me, and I drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 2nd overall. I got laughed at, and I was like, you know what? The last running back we saw in this offense was Kareem Hunt. They drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 1st round, super good at LSU. He was part of that amazing team that LSU had. and he stinks. I don't know why. I think they're trying to play him to justify that first round pick.
Mhm.
This is the year where, I don't expect Clyde to be on that team next year. He's going as the RB 28. I have him at RB 38. And that might be too generous. I am not a fan. And I've seen some reports where Isaac Pacheco,
Mhm.
I don't
think
know
it's
how you say his
Pacheco?
name. I think maybe you're right. Is listed or is playing with the first team, and then who did they
Ro-
sign?
Ronald Jones.
Yes, is getting some second team runs. There is a world where Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who a lot of people are drafting in the 60s, is a third string running back. I'm not saying it's a likely scenario. I'm saying it is a possible scenario. And if you're
Mhm.
talking about, oh, my flex has potential to be the RB3 on his own team,
Mhm.
that's trouble.
You didn't even mention the guy who they were writing at the end of last year either, Jerick McKinnon. He's
Yeah.
still there as well. So
Yeah, they did re-sign him.
I completely agree with fading Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He just doesn't look very good. Like
He
he's
never
a
has.
midget. He's 5'6" or
They
something like
tried
that.
to make Le'Veon Bell work while he
Yeah.
was still there. I mean, they were trying everything. I mean, Darrell Williams, when he was there, they were trying to make him work.
Mhm.
I don't see the talent. The talent did not transfer from LSU to Kansas City, and it's his third year. He might prove us wrong. He might be a
Yeah.
top 10 running back, but if we're going off the talent that we've seen the past 2 years, he has not flashed much.
Right.
But who do you have?
The next one is dear to my heart because he single-handedly carried me to the playoffs last year. My roster was extremely injury-stricken, and I managed to scoop up Cordarrelle Patterson in week 2. I just saw it. I just saw something coming. But this year, I will not be drafting him. As much as he carried me last year until the very end, Cordarrelle Patterson, I think Tyler Allgeier is going to be the guy. I think that's
Yeah.
going to be the dude.
That's
Patterson,
what the rumblings are.
and I think they need to use Cordero on the outside. They got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and
You could
name me one.
Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus.
Boom. Yeah, let's go. I don't know his first name.
Olamide.
It's like Olamide or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. I could just totally butcher that. But yeah, I know what you're saying. 2 running backs. It was kind of the thing we talked about with the Patriots.
Mhm.
Totally forgot the best wide receiver on the team. But yeah, I mean,
You agree with kind of fading Cordero this year?
yeah, because they drafted the rookie Tyler Allgeier, and everything is pointing to him, getting the workload. Maybe not week 1, but around week 5, 6,
Mhm.
7, somewhere around there.
And they're going to be bad. They're going to be bad. So
and Cordarrelle Patterson slowed down at the end of last year.
he did, yeah.
Yeah, it was like significant. Like
Mhm.
he was getting like 8, 7, 9 points. It wasn't
Yeah.
his, and he was kind of touchdown dependent too.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't crazy touchdown dependent, but he relied on the touchdowns kind of.
Yeah, for someone who, scored a lot of touchdowns, he played like under half the snaps. Like it was kind of weird.
It was frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
And their so-called goal line running back didn't play goal line, snaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, he slowed down at the end of last year, and I think they have better running backs now
Agreed.
than they did at the end of last year. But my last one is James Conner. I am personally not a fan of the player. He was good for the Steelers.
Good for the Cardinals.
I think a lot of people. It was the touchdowns. I can't remember how many he had. He had like 20.
20? I think he had 20.
That's not happening. I don't see a world
Let me double check that.
where James Conner scores 20 touchdowns. I mean, it's possible that he doesn't even score 10. If he doesn't score 10 touchdowns this year, is he a top 25 running back?
Okay, last year he had 15 rushing. I don't know how many receiving, but it had to be around 20 total.
I could see that totally.
I disagree on James
half.
Conner. I would draft him kind of where he's going, but so I'll let you explain this one because I think he's reasonable.
I have him at RB21. It's not all about the RB21, but people are taking him at the early 30s. They're taking him around 30 at 32. Um, like I said, Aaron Jones is being taken around there. Who's some other ones? Travis Kelce is being taken around there. Who are some other players in the 30s? Zeke, Saquon are listed in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I would also take Javonte Williams above him, who I don't love.
But who's his competition for touches in Arizona?
I just don't like the player.
I mean, I think he's solid. He's very underrated. I think.
Let's look up the.
I think it's Eno Benjamin, and they just signed. Oh, they signed Daryl. They signed Daryl Williams.
Well, there it is.
They signed Daryl, didn't they?
You're a big Daryl Williams guy.
Big Daryl Williams guy. But I just don't think they're going to feed him. With Chase Edmonds out of there, I think it's James Conner's show to run.
Yeah, and he kind of showed he was really good last year, and it is Daryl Williams and Eno Benjamin. I mean, what do you think? 60, 65%
of the snaps? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's higher. He showed he could be a workhorse in Pittsburgh. Like he's got that kind of potential.
Yeah, I could totally be wrong, but I don't love the player, and that's kind of where I'm basing this off of. But I could totally be wrong. Who's your last one?
My last one is Josh Jacobs. He's currently being taken as running back 20. I think that is criminal. I think it's absolutely criminal.
I think it's more criminal. I have him at RB 34.
Yeah, I mean he was like the only starter who played in the first preseason game, the Hall of Fame game, for a reason. I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I drafted him super high his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he looked kind of good his rookie year, but who's a good player?
Like a comparison?
Yeah. Maybe
like a Damian Harris?
Maybe like Zeke now.
I think he's like Damian Harris.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I think just like a
goal line back. Like, not going to offer much pass casting. He runs hard. He's kind of slow. And they've got all those receiving weapons now with Adams and Waller and Renfro. And
if he's not getting 15 to 20 touches a game, I think he's irrelevant.
He's very touchdown dependent. And with Devontae there, that's going to take a lot of touchdowns
away. He's very volume dependent too.
Yes. So I think I would fade Jacobs. If you can get him as like maybe your first running back on the bench somehow, even though it's very unlikely, that'd be where I'd feel comfortable taking him.
Yeah,
I don't want him as a flex.
I mean, he's going 39. That is insane.
Yeah, I don't want him. I mean, I'm low on Antonio Gibson. I would take Gibson over him.
I would take Damian Harris over him.
Yeah, they're kind of in the same range for me.
I would take James Robinson over him.
Yeah, they're kind of in the same area for me.
And I'm not a big fan of Josh Jacobs. I think he's also getting that first round hype. I think it's his third or fourth year in the league. So
yeah, and that's another team with a bunch of running backs.
People are still kind of hyping him up. They have Kenyon Drake, and they drafted Zamir White too.
Yep.
But who else? Brandon Bolden. That might be totally irrelevant. But yeah, I think that's it. That is 6 running backs that we do not like. And tomorrow we will post I think it's 6 wide receivers we do like.
That is correct.
So that will also be a banger, just like this one, just like the last one.
Yep. Check out the other ones if you haven't already.
Yeah, we're going to continue with these daily uploads until the season starts. Let's try to hit 100 subs. That might be asking a lot.
100 subs for the season?
100 subs before the season. We have to quick think off our feet what we will do if we hit 100 subs before the season.
I don't know. We'll get back to you. We'll make a separate video about it when we have some ideas, because I would really have to think about that one. We need to do something special. That'd be cool.
I was thinking maybe like a 12-hour stream, which would be brutal.
Yeah, Spencer will do that for you guys. Yeah.
No, we got to think of something. We got to think of something.
Yeah.
Maybe in tomorrow's video.
In the comments.
Maybe in tomorrow's video we'll have an idea of what we could do if we hit 100 subs. But we're still like 50, 55 away. Let's try to. I can't ask for 1 million just yet, but let's aim for 100 and we'll go from there. But
if you haven't subbed yet, sub. If you like what we're doing, if you enjoy the content, if we help you, spread the word. We're trying to grow the YouTube. We accept all subscribers. You got anything last words for them?
No, I just want you to hit the outro.